Welcome back to Because Adventure. Today I'm going to install some LED light bulbs into our 2022 Jeep Wrangler. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through the details of how to install these headlights. It's fairly rudimentary. There's a couple of screws that you need to remove. There's a bunch of the plastic little push pins that have to get popped out. Some plastic covers that have to be removed. You have to remove the grill. I'm just going to do a time lapse to demonstrate the steps without a whole lot of explanation. It's pretty easy to figure out on your own. I think what's more important is to talk about how the bulbs actually fit into the sockets and making the connections, and then what the difference is between how bright they are, the color difference, and how they're aligned later on as compared to the stock bulbs. As with anybody that owns a Jeep Wrangler, we all know that the incandescent lighting is poor at best, very yellow in color and not very bright. Although I have to say that the JL Wrangler is head and shoulders better than the JK Wrangler, which was really terrible. Even at that, I wanted to have something with a whiter light and of course brighter. I opted not to change the entire headlight fog light housings, as with the silver Jeep I kind of like the chrome reflectors that are behind the lights, so I thought I'd give just some LED bulbs a try. What I ended up getting was a LED bulb manufactured by a company called Sealight, and these are available on Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive. I think for the pair of headlights and pair of fog lights, I spent about $60. My initial impressions are they seem to be pretty nice. They're packaged real well. The bulbs themselves are a passive type, so there's no fans on these. They have passive cooling, which means they have these aluminum cooling fins around them, and the decoders are also wired in, and it has the proper connector on it for the Jeep Wrangler. One thing I will say about these lights is that when you go on the Amazon website, it says that these lights actually do not fit a 22 Jeep Wrangler, but that is incorrect. And then for the fog lights, I wanted to have the same color brightness. I think these are 6000 K on both of them. So for the headlights, we have the H13 connection on them. And for the fog lights, we have the PSX 24W/2504, which is what my owner's manual calls for. For the headlight bulbs, I'm going to go ahead and remove the front grille and remove the housings, the headlight housings from the front, so I can get at the bulbs from the back. For the fog lights, there's some pieces of plastic. There's a cover up on top of the bumper here. There's the wind guard down on the bottom of the bumper that needs to be removed. And then there's a plastic panel right behind the bumper. A couple of screws, a bunch of push pins, and we'll have access to those. I'm not gonna lie, that light was tough to get into the socket and get it clicked in all the way. There's these three little one, two, three locators, if you will, and they're on there so that you only put the bulb in the socket one way. Those seem to stick up just a little bit, so I took a flat file and I shaved them down ever so slightly, taking maybe, oh, I don't know, 30 thousandths or 3/4 of a millimeter off just where that tab sticks out. And then, while I didn't get a solid click that it was in the hole, I got it pushed in, and I can't get it out now without hitting the releases. So I'm pretty satisfied that it's in there. Pretty decent, but that's something about the fitment of these bulbs that you may or may not have to look at depending on your situation. Okay, with that, the headlights are in, the fog lights are in. Everything went pretty smoothly. I'm going to say that to do this complete, it's probably about, a 45-minute job if you don't have any struggles at all. And it took me about an hour, quite honestly, but that was with, moving the camera around and talking and everything else, so not too bad. We'll take this thing out tonight. We'll see how, once it gets dark out, we'll see how these bulbs perform. I did shoot some video so I can do some before and after, and we'll see you then.
The first thing I wanted to look at is the color of the light. The bottom view shows the LED bulbs that are producing about 6,000 Kelvin, while the halogen bulbs are at about 3,000 Kelvin. I really like how bright and crisp the LED bulbs look. Looking at the low beam and fog lights in this side-by-side comparison, the LED lights on the right appear to be brighter and seem to have a further reach down the road. In comparison, when looking at the high beam and fog lights, the LED lights only seem to be slightly brighter and maybe offer just a slight advantage as far as reach down the road. In this comparison, we're looking at the low beam and fog lights spaced 25 feet from the garage door. While both lights have a nice cutoff, the LED lights on the right seem to have a larger hot spot and really fill the bottom of the door with light. In this final comparison, we're looking at the high beams and fogs, again spaced 25 feet from the garage door. Both of these look very similar. The pattern on the LED lights might be a little bit tighter, but they are about the same.
So that's going to wrap it up for this project. In all, my initial impressions of these bulbs are they seem to be pretty good quality, pretty reasonably priced, and long term we'll see how they go. I expect that they'll last many years, if not the life of the vehicle. So if there are any problems, I'll post up about that if something should arise, but otherwise I'm pretty happy with them. I hope you found this video to be helpful, and if you did, click the like button, click the subscribe button for more videos of this similar type nature, and I hope to see you guys again real soon. Thank you.